I'm excited to share with you a single n8n AI agent that auto-summarizes, auto-tags, and auto-drafts your Gmail emails. It's a great build for beginners just starting with AI automation, and I'll walk you through it step by step. The template is free in the description. Get this email, let's schedule a meeting to discuss the automations. The workflow is executing, and we can see the model is thinking and it's structuring the output into a label, summary, and response. It created a draft, and then another agent was able to add a label to that email. And back in the email, we can see it was labeled as scheduling, which is perfect, and we click into it and the draft is automatically created and we can go ahead and send this off. Thanks for reaching out. I'd be happy to schedule a meeting to discuss the automations, and then it signs off as me. So this is a great response, and what's cool is that this was generated completely by the AI agent, and what's cooler is that we didn't even have to tell it to do this. It automatically found this email in our inbox, labeled it, and drafted a response that we reviewed and then sent. So you can see how this could save a lot of time in a business, avoiding a bunch of manual work, and later in the video I'll show you how to customize it for any use case and even reply automatically. Now let's get straight into building it. The first thing we'll do is add a Gmail trigger so that we can continuously check our Gmail for new emails. So let's add this in on message received, and we'll need a credential to connect with. But before we do that, I'll just explain the poll time. The mode is set to every minute by default. This means that this trigger will go to our Gmail and check every minute if there are new emails. If we set this to every hour, then it will go to our Gmail and check every hour. And you can set this to any custom time you want, but for our case, we'll just do every minute. And now we'll do a credential. So click Create New Credential. We'll need a client ID and client secret. So you want to create an account in Google Cloud and then go to the console and click Create New Project and call it whatever you want. And it'll take a minute to spin up, but once it does, you can click into it. Okay. And once you're here, you'll go to Credentials and you'll click Create Credentials. But before we can create a credential, we need to configure a consent screen. So click that and do Get Started, and then name this whatever you want. And for the email, just choose your email, choose external. Then for contact information, use the same email and click I agree and continue and create. Okay, that is configured, so we can go back to the page we were previously on, Credentials, and do Create New Credentials, and then OAuth Client ID. Application type can be web application, and then for authorized redirect URIs, you'll click Add URI, go back to n8n and copy this by clicking on it, and then paste it into this field and click Create. Okay, now we have our client ID and client secret. Make sure to copy your client secret and paste it somewhere like in your notes or something, because once you close this modal, you won't be able to see it again. And you'll have to create a new client secret to see it again. And also make sure you don't share this code with anybody. This is your password. So if anybody has access to this, they can use your resources on the Google Cloud, which you don't want. Okay, and you'll click Save once you paste them in and sign in with Google. Choose the account. n8n test has not completed the Google verification process. You'll have to go back to your cloud and actually add this user as a test user. So go to Audience, click on Add Users, and then input that email and click Save. Now we can go back and sign in with Google and click Continue. Select all, Continue. And now our n8n has access to our Google resources. So that is good to go. It should say account create, connected. You can exit out of that. And we are done with our Gmail trigger. Let's give it a test real quick. So fetch test event. Okay, now this brings up our next thing, which is enabling the API in our Google Cloud project. So we need to go to enabled APIs and services in the Google Cloud and enable, and then search for the Gmail API. Okay. And so anytime you want to use a service within the Google ecosystem, you'll have to come in here and enable its API. So let's say you wanted to use the Google Calendar, you have to come in here and search Calendar API. If you wanted to use YouTube API, you have to come in here and enable that API. So we'll just enable the Gmail API because that's all we'll be using today. And now we'll fetch test event. And there we go. We have our latest email. Okay, now we want to take these emails or email and send it through an AI agent so that it can summarize the email for us, right? But then we also want to take that summary or email content and send it to another agent to give us a tag. And then we can take that tag and tag the email in Gmail. And we want to have an AI agent that takes the summary and then gives us a reply, right? Now we could set up 3 different AI agents after this trigger, like 1, 2, and 3, to do each one of those steps. But what I'm thinking is we can just have one agent do all of that work, and the agent would then output a structured response with properties like label, summary, and reply. Okay, so we'll add our AI agent, but before we do that, go back to the trigger and unsimplify this so that the output contains our text from the email, and then click this plus button and choose AI and AI agent. And then for source for prompt, we need to capture the email data. So we'll do define below, type subject, colon, and then drag in our subject, which is right here, and place it there. Then our next line will be the actual text from the email, or we'll say body, and we'll drag this in and put it there. Now our AI agent has access to the subject of the email and the body. So like I said, we want the agent to output a structured format. So we're going to tell it to do that, but in some cases it might say, sure, here's your structured output, and then give the structured output. And that kind of formatting will mess up our next steps down the line. So we want to require this AI agent to output a specific format. And to do that, we'll check this box here. Now we'll connect an output parser, and then we'll choose the structured output parser. And I'm going to go ahead and paste in the example JSON. Oh, got to put it in curly brackets like this. And you can see here we have a label, a summary, and a response. So we're just giving the model an example of the output that we want. Now we'll go back to our agent and add the system message. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste this in here. And by the way, if you want this workflow and all these prompts, I'll leave a link in the description for my free Skool community. You can go there and download the template for this. Okay, so you are an email assistant agent. Your job is to read the subject and the body, which is what we made the user message prompt, of an email, then do the following. Summarize the email in 2 to 3 clear sentences. 2, assign a single label based on the email's topic. Use one of these categories. 3, draft a professional and helpful response written in a friendly and human tone. I'm not sure if we need to include this here since we have the required specific output format. So we'll remove that and just leave this simple prompt. If you want your own custom tags, you can go ahead and edit this list here. But for now, we'll keep that as is. We have the prompt set up, but we need to connect a brain to this agent because if we try to execute this step right now, it'd say a chat model subnode must be connected and enabled. So we'll go back and click this plus icon under chat model and search chat GPT or OpenAI chat model. Click that and we'll need a credential to connect with. So create new credential and we'll need an API key. Go to openai.com and click on API platform and then log in to your account or create a new one if you have to. Then go to the top right here and click on your profile and then click API keys. And now you can create a new secret key and name it anything you want and then select a project. And if you don't already have a project created, you might have to create one in order to create a secret key. So go ahead and do that. Then click create secret key. And again, you'll want to copy this key and paste it somewhere in your notes or somewhere secure so that you can have access to it in the future. Because once you close this modal, you won't be able to view it again. And you don't want to show this API key to anybody else because then they can access your OpenAI account and use your credits. So copy this and go back to n8n and paste it in the API key field and click save. And now it should say connection tested successfully. So we can go back and choose our model. I think we should go with GPT 4.1 mini. It's pretty cost effective. It's pretty cheap compared to the other ones and it'll get the job done. So yeah, we can go back to Canvas and now test out this AI agent. So execute step. So let's take a look at the input that actually went to the chat model. So you are an email assistant agent. Your job is to read the subject and body. So that this is the system message we inputted. And then this part here is telling the model to use this specific output format. And then the next part of the input is the actual email subject and body. Now let's go to the output and see if the model did its job correctly. Response, output. So we have the label, which is finance. That's correct. Summary. The email confirms that a recent payment has been successfully posted to Kyle's mortgage account with Cross Country Mortgage. Probably shouldn't be showing you guys this personal information, but whatever. So that's a great summary of the email. Then it provides a response. Now this is a personal email and there's really no point to even respond to it because it's kind of like a no reply, like a receipt for the payment. We could set up a filter node to filter these emails out, any emails with no reply or just from like a newsletter, or we could set it up so only the categories like sales and support or scheduling only those 3 categories will actually respond to and draft emails for. And then all of them will be tagged. So let's get on to that step. A quick tip, make sure to save your project every now and again so you don't accidentally delete everything. And then click the plus icon to add our Gmail, and we'll do the add label to message, and we'll connect our credential that we already created, resources message, operation add label, and then message ID. To get this, we'll do an expression, do curly brackets, and then target the Gmail trigger, do .item.json.id. All right, that'll get the ID of the email, and then label names or IDs. So here's a list of all the label names or IDs in our Gmail account. So we'll have to actually go to our Gmail and add these labels. I went ahead and added all of them in here. So finances, other, personal, sales, scheduling, spam, and support. Let's refresh the list. And we'll select finances, and we'll name this one finances. Any label output from the agent, so whether it's finance or support, personal, whatever, it's going to create a finances tag. So we actually need to make another node in between these nodes, add a switch here, and then drag in our label to the value 1, and then see if it's equal to finance. Then add another rule for personal, name these outputs. So this one will be finance, and this one would be personal. Then we would have to duplicate this add labels node for each of these tags, right? And we drag these inputs in to each one, and we'd have to update this to personal. So we could go ahead and do that, but that's tedious, and it's a kind of a bottleneck. So if we ever wanted to add another category or remove a category, we'd have to go in here and update that. So instead, we're just going to create an AI agent to do that work for us. So let's remove these nodes and add AI agent, and we can do source for prompt is defined below, and we'll say label and drag in the label from the output. And then we will add a tool to this, Gmail tool, and we'll do resource label, execute this step. This will return all of the labels, and then we'll add another tool, another Gmail tool, that will actually add the label to the email. So resource is message and operation is add label. Then for the message ID, we'll need to do an expression. So email trigger .item.json.id, and then label names or IDs, we're going to let the model define this parameter. Okay, we'll add a little description here to help the model out. We'll say based on the label input, choose which label to add. It should be a label with type user. Okay. So what that last part means, label with type user, well, there are labels in here that are type system, and these are like the default that Gmail has, but we only want to label our emails with the labels that we created. So the type is user for the labels that we created ourselves. So now it has access to these 2 tools, and we'll add a system prompt. We'll say, based on the label input, add the label to the email using the tool. Okay. So then for the chat model, we'll just connect it to this chat model that already exists. And if we run this, we can see it says, I have added the label finances to your email. And let's go to the Gmail and see if it did. And it did. Very good, very good. So let's go through the execution and see exactly what happened. First of all, the agent started thinking, and it sees that based on the label input, it needs to add the label to the email. But first, it needed to know what labels it had available. So it used the get many labels in Gmail tool to get a list of all the available labels and their IDs. So once it had access to the labels and IDs, it then chose the label ID that was relevant based on our input, which was finance. So it grabbed that finances label ID and passed it to the add label to message in Gmail tool. Once it finished up, it then responded to us with this output, I've added the label finances to your email. Amazing. So the last thing we need to do is actually create the draft based on this response here. So we will create a new node for Gmail, create draft. So create a draft, and we use the same credential, the resources draft, operation create, subject. So it says here to reply to an existing thread, which is what we want to do. Specify the exact subject title of that thread. To get the subject title, we will do an expression and do curly brackets and Gmail trigger .item.json.subject. The email type is text, and the message will be this response that we have crafted already. Go back to Canvas and make sure it's connected to this first agent. Let's actually give this a name. We'll name it label summary response. And this agent will be named add labels to Gmail. So let's go ahead and test the entire flow. I've got this email drafted. The subject is let's schedule a meeting soon. And it says, hey Kyle, I'm interested in scheduling a meeting to discuss AI automations that will improve our customer service department. Regards, Alec. So let's send it off and see what happens. I received the email. We'll execute the workflow. All right, it's been triggered and our AI model is determining the output. So the label is scheduling. The summary is Alec wants to schedule a meeting with Kyle to discuss AI automations. Good, and it came up with a response. So after that, it added the labels by getting all the labels that it had available, and it added the label to that message, and it created a draft as well based on our response. So let's go check the email, and we can see that the scheduling label was added. Then in our drafts, we see that this email has been drafted. I do see one issue. This didn't actually reply to the thread, and it didn't even specify an email to send to. To fix this, back in n8n, we add an option for thread ID and an option for to email. So the thread ID will be from our Gmail trigger output. Just do .threadID. And then our to email is the recipient we're sending this email back to. So whoever sent us the email, that's who we want to send it back to. Get that by doing .from, .value, 0, .address. Now, if there are multiple recipients, you might want to send it back to all of them. So to do that, you would do .map item and item.address. So that will create an array of the recipient emails. It says here that you need to format it with commas separating the emails. So we have to do a .join with a comma, and now it'll be structured like this. Okay, so we can execute this step, and we can see here it worked. It has the recipient and it has the message. So now we can send this off and we're good to go. All right, now we're gonna do another example, and hopefully this time there won't be any errors. So here's the message I drafted. It says, I'm having trouble with product. Hey Kyle, I'm having trouble getting the product to work. Can you help? I received the email. We'll execute the workflow. It's thinking. The chat model is coming up with the response. There we go. It says, John is experiencing issues with the product and is requesting assistance from Kyle. Hi John, thanks for reaching out. I'm sorry to hear that you're having trouble with the product. And the label is support, so that's perfect. It added the label and it created a draft. So let's go back to the Gmail and check. There we go. We have a draft created and the label is added. And here's the draft. So now if I'm like part of the support team, I can go ahead and just make sure this is a good response and I can send it off. So I hope you can see the opportunities with this AI agent. You can implement it into your business, into somebody else's business, and it's going to automatically summarize, label, and then draft responses, saving you and your business hours and hours of manual work. If you wanted to skip the draft and just send the email right away, you could just use this reply to message node instead of the create a draft node. Drop a comment if you'd like to see that. And if you're serious about AI automation, definitely check out my free Skool community, where you'll have access to a network of people building and automating, and access to this video's workflow template. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.